Yo, what's good, y'all? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. Put my little tweet out. Close that down. What's good, y'all? All right, let me open up this chat real quick. All right, I see y'all coming in. Once again, salute. Shout out to everybody. Happy Saturday. Scroll up, try to catch a couple. I know I missed a bunch. Notification on my phone. Shout out to MFD Films with the RBE notifications on. Appreciate you. Kim Folk, let's go ARP. J Rock. Ain't this the ball? Shout out J Rock. Houston. Here we go. Just caught my ticket yesterday. Salute ARP. Hope all is well. Salute you. Everything's great. Life is lovely, man. I appreciate that. All might. We in here. RBE, RBE, RBE. I'm at work listening to this like a sports cast. Shout out to Show FF216. I appreciate you. Caution's in the building. Shout out to Caution. Yo, what's up, boss? I be getting at the bricks, man. I know they be saying it kind of like sarcastically. I be having a problem with that word, man. Y'all gonna stop. I know y'all don't say it like that, and I appreciate that. I just don't be liking that word. My nigga Caution in the building, though. Caution versus QB is out right now. Oh, that's a mean ass match. Y'all ladies was talking some shit in there, man. The ladies was talking some shit. What else we got? L Realist, salute RBE. Was good, ARP. I appreciate that, homie. Salute right back to you too. Ain't shit. I'm chilling, my guy. I see Bricks in here. I see Lady Bricks in here. Raw Image, what's good? Yo, what up, ARP? I see you, shorty. What's up with you? Ain't that the ball? Trillion Truly RBE. I see RBE click simple. Shout out ARP. Thank you, Orlando Davis. I appreciate that. I see people starting to pour in here. ARP and RBE ain't playing. No games I see. Oh, shout out to Dre Vicious. That's Dre Vicious over there. Salute, G. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, man. Normally when you see me off of my sorry it's true or going live shit, it's either because I'm trying to stay out the way of all the other content that's dropping on the channel. You know what I'm saying? Or we in full battle rollout mode. And then as soon as these events be over, you see me get heavy right back into my sorry is true mode. The sorry is true that y'all are gonna see just about all April is gonna be me going live with all the battlers that's on the May 6th event, as well as a lot of battlers that's not on the May 6th event. I'm gonna be talking about a lot of battle rap. Y'all know when I do the Sorry is True podcast, I'd say 80% of that is non-battle rap. Everything from now until May 6th, I shouldn't say everything. Just reverse it. 80% of what I talk about now, between now and May 6th, is going to be battle rap related, right? Hence the title of this, right? So it's all tactical. I'm not stupid. It's all tactical, right? But it's a very, very relevant topic that I'm going to get into. We're going to go over some stuff together. Y'all see this title. I'm pretty sure some of y'all got a hint of where I'm going to go in a second. But we'll get there. Got my little energy drink. Hold on, y'all. And I don't even like energy drinks. I did that when I was younger on my gym shit. I used to take like them energy type of supplements or whatever before you go to the gym and all that shit. Energy drinks and everything. As I got a little bit older, I got a little bit wiser, cared a little bit more about my body. Shit, to say it simple. And anything that alters your heart rate unnaturally, I don't really fuck with anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you catch me doing something like this, maybe once every 6 months. And the only reason I'm doing this today is because I had a super, super long Last 2 days, I've been in the field. I've been working so much. I had a long first half of this day. A lot of work, moving around, outside, just moving. I had to get so much shit done today. From I was up early as always, but I think I was outside by like 8 this morning. Just got back home, changed my clothes real quick. Didn't even take a shower yet because I'm about to work out. So I feel like my workouts have been real down over like the last 4 days, and that's because I've been working so crazy. And then with this May 6th shit turning up so much, my time is just like I got this much time left in the day, man. So I told myself today I really want to get in a good workout. And I'm normally a morning person as far as training. My body's even adapted to training in the morning. I don't really train too much in the afternoons or the evenings. But today I just like I gotta get a good one in. So I'm leaning to a small crutch. I'm leaning to a small crutch. Hopefully, what y'all take from all of that is please be careful about the shit that y'all put in y'all bodies. And shit, I ain't perfect. Live your 80-20 life. I'm probably gonna have a couple glasses of whatever I decide to pour up later on tonight. You know what I told myself I need to throw on this weekend? Two of my top favorite subtitled movies of all time. They both long as shit. I figure by the time I'm done working out and take a shower and everything, maybe like 9 o'clock or something like that, I'm either gonna watch Apocalypto or City of God tonight. That's what I'm on tonight. I don't know which one. I gotta think. I'm gonna think about that. So when my workout is over, I'm gonna figure that out. Apocalypto or City of God. I don't even know which one to say is better. Damn, them's two classics. Yeah, so that's what I'm on tonight. That's my night. I'm gonna watch me a classic. I'm gonna throw a classic on in the big setup. So I'm really gonna enjoy it. Really gonna enjoy it. Kick back. Probably have me a couple glasses of wine. Chill out. You know what I'm saying? So hope everybody's, got similar plans for their Saturday. Nothing too crazy. If y'all going out, be safe. Keep it entertainment. We'll get to the battle. I'm not rushing. I got time for this to kick in anyway. I'm not rushing y'all. I'm here with y'all. I saw John Wick 4. Damn, I should have just called this Sorry It's True episode, whatever I'm up to. But I saw John Wick 4. I think it's the best one so far. Part 3, I think, was the worst one to me. Part 1 and 2 is still dope. All that CQC, close quarter combat, it's kind of like been like one of the staples in the series. They focus a lot on gun mechanics, style of guns, type of guns, gun manipulation. We've talked about this on the channel before. It's really, really a big series for gun enthusiasts, and also for action people. I think part 4 is probably the most outlandish as far as the shit that he gets to go through. You know what I'm saying? Definitely is. But it's that type of movie. So you take it with a grain of salt. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but it really is like bulletproof suits is something you got to deal with. These motherfuckers is 3 feet away from each other the whole movie, shooting each other. And they all got these bulletproof suits on and shit. So it's just like it's wild. But we've seen the bulletproof suits on before in other John Wick movies. So it's not new. It's not new. But Jesus, it's like one thing I think that we appreciated from movies like, let's say, Die Hard, Bruce Willis, right? One thing about Bruce Willis and Die Hard, especially in part 1, he's an action hero that gets his ass whooped and gets beat up and tore up, and he ends up barefoot and walking over glass and his feet cut up, and by the time he's walking down that hallway towards Hans with the machine gun, at the end of it, it's like, yo, he's been through hell and back, right? He looked like he's been tore up. And that's on full demonstration here with John Wick 4. It's just like, man, this man been through everything. He's falling off of 2-story cliffs or get thrown over him. He's getting beat up on. He's getting shot. Did he get stabbed? He get everything thrown downstairs. But it's action wise and everything, I think is the dopest one. I think John Wick 4 is the best one. You know what I'm saying? So go see that. I haven't made my way to the theater. Everybody's telling me that the new Scream is worth it. I've been off that series. I thought it got trash again, but people saying that this one, the New York based one or whatever, is good. Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow, something like that. If I get too bored, if tomorrow's a lighter day for me, I'll see. But if we stay on the entertainment side for a couple more seconds, Snowfall is. I'm really just finishing Snowfall because I'm invested at this point. I've been not liking the series anymore. I really felt like it's kind of cheesy. You know what I'm saying? But the last episode, there was a big occurrence. One of the main characters died. I ain't gonna spoil it in Snowfall, but it's, I'm just tight right now. That series, like Stranger Things and Narcos, and damn, The Last of Us that just ended on HBO Max season 1. Please bring back season 2 ASAP. That shit was so crazy. That shit was so crazy. Season 1 of The Last of Us is one of the best shits out right now. If you got HBO Max, go watch it. Even if you don't have HBO Max, it might be worth the subscription. If you don't fuck with after that, then whatever their policy is to cancel your subscription, do that. The Last of Us season 1 that just finished, dope. Dope. One of the best series I watched in a while. So get up on that. All right. Let's start moving into battle rap. Because if this was a Sorry Is True podcast, even if I was going to include battle rap, I'd be talking about things like the Tekashi 9 shit. I ain't done an interview about that yet, or a podcast or any topics about that. I'd be talking about that shit. I'd probably be talking about Tax Stone's conviction and Troy Ave and this song he did at the courthouse on the stairs and all that type of shit. I'll be talking about all of that shit. But I'm gonna keep this video not necessarily Sorry Is True. I'm gonna keep this video battle rap. So let's jump into battle rap. Before I get into the title, of course, May 6th. It's in shout out to Ruin Your Day. I see you in here, homie. Shout out to Avo. And the whole team. Ruin Your Day. Y'all make a lot of money, man. Fuck that. Let's put it out there. We're gonna talk about private contractors. So it's dope that I just said that about Ruin Your Day. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. May 6th. I'm real honored to see the feedback. I see people saying, once again, it's a small room. Y'all telling us RBE. People that haven't been there before, they're like, it's a small room. Y'all telling us, right? Y'all are crazy. We had announcement number 7 by today. We still got 3 more. They're like, what are y'all doing putting this in a small room? I love that feedback. Thank you. I see people saying that, are y'all sure this is not max out? I probably got shit like that on my phone. Real shit. Like, I don't be making shit up. I see comments like that. Are y'all sure, ARP, that this is not a max out card? I appreciate that. Actually, yeah, here goes one of them right here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bar on the BXL. Oh, yeah, the light is going to be fucked up. Yeah, the light is going to fuck it up. Yeah, the light's going to fuck it up. But that's his channel. I don't know what content you got over there, but I see you around a lot. Shout out to you. Or is that Instagram? No, this is an Instagram screenshot. I'm bugging. Yeah, so follow him. His comment is, it's never too late to rename the card to Max Out 3, bro. I appreciate that. I'm getting all that type of feedback. And I think it's so dope to have a card that RBE could have called Max Out. And we're sticking to the guns of what we wanted it to be by putting it in a small room, enjoying the energy and the turnout of the battles coming out of the blue room. People saying that it's so far the event of the year and that we went 6 for 6 battles last event, and there wasn't even a bad round, let alone a bad battle, but there wasn't even a bad round coming out of the last event. Oh, nah. Fuck it. The name Max Out could wait, but this is still a Max Out style card. It's funny too, because there's a lot of people that's on this card that was on the original Rare Breeds card, right? Mook again, Bigg K again, Ill Will again, King Los again, right? And then it's dope to see people that wasn't on the Rare Breeds card, when we crashed the internet, bringing back Murda Mook, that's on it this time. You got the Showoffs, you got Rosenberg Raw, you got a bunch of new bricks on here that are up and coming right now, people that are developing crazy. I think that's so dope. You know what I'm saying? So far what we announced, of course, the main event, Murda Mook versus Bigg K. We're going to be talking a lot more about that on this channel. I'm going to be getting a shitload of predictions out. I think it's gonna be real fun when y'all see the face off drop for that battle. Y'all gonna get two face offs for that battle. Y'all are gonna get a. I'm not gonna say when it is. Maybe it's tomorrow. Maybe it's next weekend. Maybe it's the weekend after. But we got a face off. It's already booked. It's already scheduled. Niggas' flights and hotels and all that shit is booked. The venue's booked. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to put the date out there yet based on the turnout of the face off. That's gonna make me decide of when to drop it. But it's all booked, locked away. The face off, we got y'all. Stay tuned to the channel for that. Bigg K and Mook, we got to have some fun with that. Okay. Um, we got King Los versus Ill Will. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I be loving the conversations I have with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I love to be on the phone with King Los and hear what he says about Ill Will. I love to be on the phone with Ill Will and hear what he says about battling King. This shit is just dope because as we're all fans of this shit, leading into this, it's just like I got such high expectations of this card, deservingly so. You know what I'm saying? This is also the Rucker. I mean, the reputation of RBE, the matchup construction, the card construction, and the battle quality has always been a priority for us, and we had that reputation forever. Don't be a battler on the card to fuck that up. Real shit. You got Charlie Clips versus Rosenberg Raw. It's not promo, y'all. Well, it is promo, but it's real. The agreement with Charlie Clips is 3 written rounds, no freestyles. No, the only thing that Charlie Clips could do is rebuttal. And I don't even know if he's going to do that because he probably isn't going to want anybody to call him out for that. But the agreement is 3 written rounds. If you get 3 written rounds from one of the legends of this game, Charlie Clips, one of the people that is the most dangerous in this game, we expect to see a classic performance. This is Charlie Clips, right? I think we're all putting that trust and that pressure on him, and he deserves it because he is who he is. He gets paid what he gets paid. He does the views that he does. His name is his name. I think the timing is great because I could look at it and be like, damn, like his last battle, people's talking about, yo, freestyle in 3rd round, blah, blah, blah. I think the timing is dope to say, watch this now. And we've been in that spot how many fucking times? So now when we get on May 6th, the Charlie Clips with 3 written rounds versus Rosenberg Raw, who's on this tear right now as far as putting on, it could be another one. So shout out to Clips, man. That's a lot of honor for you to do that. I really appreciate that and I respect you for that. And I think the fans is going to respect you and appreciate you for that as well. Showoff and Trez, shout out to these 2 guys. I've liked that matchup for a very, very long time. You know what I'm saying? Showoff and Trez has always been like, the stature wise, height wise, appeal wise, content wise, lyrical ability wise, like it makes sense putting them in front of each other. I think the only thing that one does that the other one isn't really known for, obviously, is the freestyling and the rebuttaling, right? But yeah, we got Showoff coming off of one of his best performances on the channel versus Jag in the Blue Room, so he knows that setting. But we're also in Atlanta for this card. Trez is in Atlanta, so he might have some hometown energy. You never know. But I think that's such a dope matchup. Can't wait to see that. What else we got? We got P.A.Y.N.E versus Coach Corleone, brick on brick crime. I like the fact that they looking at each other like, yo, it's war. You know what I'm saying? We could shake hands and go back to being brick brothers after that. That's dope. We are the home of friends having classics. We could probably argue that we are the top of that. You know what I'm saying? I've definitely behind the scenes always pushed that. Block on block crime, that legacy lives on the RBE channel. You know what I'm saying? Like we have the Chilla Jones versus Danny Myers classic. We have the Big Cannon versus Danger Zone classic. Look at the 3rd round of what Danger Zone said to Big Cannon. They almost had to walk outside. Them niggas is real friends in real life. They almost had to take a walk. JC versus Big Cannon, classic. You know what I'm saying? What else do we got? Of course, the Daylight versus Oops, some people's favorite battle ever. Block on block crime, 2 friends. I be wanting to see that shit. We seen Showoff versus Jay Murda. Damn, they give a classic on King of the Dot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we be about. Coach Corleone, P.A.Y.N.E, the expectations are the same for y'all. Cameras cut on. It's time to rap. We want to see hell to pay. That's what we want to see, right? And keep an eye out too for coach's Battle versus B Magic about to drop. Wow. And of course, P.A.Y.N.E versus Bad News is already out. Wow. Man, yo, we're giving y'all some quality content on this channel lately. What else we got? We got the ladies on there. Shout out to QB Black Diamond versus Robin Rhymes. Robin Rhymes is coming back. Robin hasn't been over here ever since she battled Bonnie. I think that battle right there was kind of Robin shaking a lot of the rust off. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't battle that frequent, but being that she got the rust off right there and people be asking like, yo, why she in the past didn't battle, blah, blah, blah. That rust is off. No excuses for Robin neither. You standing in front of one of the greats. I think that's a dope opportunity. And as far as QB, is whether QB's facing Robin, a 1SK, E Hard, Caution. We expect QB to be QB. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to come up in that May 6th environment with that pay-per-view running and all them type of eyes watching. Cars like this, celebrities, outside people, they're big streams. You know what I'm saying? They're big streams, cards like this. So go ahead and lose if you want. But shout out to the ladies on this card. There's another battle with 2 ladies on this card too. We just ain't dropped it yet. So we got some ladies on the card. What else we got? Oh, today we dropped Swave Sevah versus Remedy Loko. I've been watching the comments of that YouTube drop. I think it's dope how many people is like, yo, finally, there goes Loko. That's dope. That's dope. And I like the fans to remind us of how much y'all fuck with some of the talent that's developing over here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's saying like, yo, he's a star in the making. I see that in him too. I really do. And I really wish some of his momentum didn't drop. Timing wise, that's RBE. We got to eat some of that. But that Blood, Sweat, and Tears 7 where he had the main event versus Reed Dollars, he definitely deserved that. But, no crying over that particular spilled milk. He's back now. Nick Gurr, can you please raise the price for the VIP tickets? They are sold out too fast. Nick Gurr, I appreciate that. That's a dope comment. And thank you for the super. Yeah, I guess next time around, being that those are limited tickets, I guess maybe we could sell them for a little bit more. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you would still be able to get one. Whoever wanted those tickets, that you would still be in contention with those people to get those tickets. So when stuff like that goes up, those are the ones that always go fast. I was the same way when I used to travel around the fucking country to live battles all the time too. If there's a stage pass or VIP, I want to be as close up and personal to the energy, unless I didn't like the venue or something like that or the layout. And you got to always get those type of things early. But I appreciate you, homie. They should be like 300 or something. I think there was a little bit less than that as far as those specialty tickets. But yeah, they all gone. I appreciate you, Nick, but we just got to get on those early. I'm glad that we got them up for the price that they was. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I'll be trying to do a little bit extra at the door. Like, like we've done that in venues that have stages, like let a couple people buy a extra stage pass or 2 people go to the door, girl, be like, yo, can I get a stage pass? And then she'll either send somebody back to me or somebody on the team, somebody like Shata, somebody or whoever, you know what I'm saying? Or they'll call us to the door. And based on what I see, the feeling out of the venue, we've been doing this so long, so we can kind of feel it out and be like, all right, you know what, for the homie right there that pulled up, told me, drove from states away and all that, go ahead and sell one more stage pass. You know what I'm saying? So we try, but it's not easy, man. We got 10 battles for y'all in a blue room, in a small room. So as much as I appreciate the support, as much as, we all need the finances to come back in to support these type of events and pay these type of battles and all that type of stuff, we could only do but so much. So, we'd love to take the money, right? But it's not always about that extra dollar. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just about we do what we can in there. But I appreciate that, my man. That's a dope super chat to read from somebody. Like, yo, up the price. That's dope. I seen a comment today. Somebody said, yo, this pay-per-view is going to be $100 and I'm still buying it. That's dope. That's so dope to see that. It's definitely not. Right now the live pay-per-view is up for $50. Go get one. Go to rarebreedent.com right now or go to rapgrid.com right now and get your live pay-per-view for May 6th. What was I saying? What battle was we at? Oh yeah, so it was dope to see that for Loko. And of course, Swave Swave is like, he's so significant in RBE's history. Our documentary that was made by Rap Reddits, shout out to them, will be dropping this week. Um, the person that made our documentary is really, they really did their homework on RBE, and they know that Swave versus Math Hoffa was a pinnacle moment, and that battle didn't happen. But watch the documentary and get your history. That battle and that matchup was almost like a pivotal moment in RBE being created. You'll understand more of that when you watch the documentary that drops this week. Um, so Swave has that history embedded in RBE. He's within the main event of our very first card, New Year Order versus Rosenberg Raw. He was on the Rare Breeze card versus B Dot. He's on this card when we, you know what I'm saying? So Swave has really been a part of the fabric of RBE. He's one of my favorite battle rappers. I've said that since the beginning of the time, that he's one of my favorite battle rappers. But I do see the comments have Swave as the underdog to Remedy Loko. Is that disrespectful considering Swave such a veteran? You know what I'm saying? Or is Remedy Loko just that good? That's the comments of the trailer that we dropped today. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Loko, shout out to Swave. I'm gonna be bringing both of those guys on real soon to chop with y'all. And I know a lot of people probably want to see me and Swave talk about what like 2 weeks ago controversy and everything. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. There's a bunch of stuff that we both probably would tell y'all that hasn't been made public yet. But yeah, we could have some fun with that for the fans, possibly on the way out. Continued as we get into this. Old boy Nick, salute. I remember seeing you at many West Coast King of the Dot events. Have you ever done, hold on, let me scroll back up, done a blog about the business moves you made to be able to do what you do? Appreciate that super chat, old boy Nick. I've never done a blog that broke down like some of my business moves or how I've done them, for example. I haven't done that. I've owned businesses. I continue to have a side of me that is heavily weighed in entrepreneurialism. Obviously RBE, right? Right. I've never really done that. Um, I've tried to give a lot of advice over the years about being successful and being smart. Um, I'm not perfect either. I make mistakes and I'm not some billionaire, you know what I'm saying? But I think people do smell on me that I do okay for myself. Um, and I've tried to share a lot over the years if you watch my blogs. I don't think I've ever come across as a hater or somebody that's been, real tight with information. Even behind the scenes, I think people like Jims gives me a lot of that type of credit. People like Showoff gives me that type of credit a lot. I'll be somebody that'll come on here and tell y'all like, as much as it could benefit me as a platform owner to tell y'all like, yo, just concentrate on this because this is where I'm making money. I tell y'all, nah, don't put all your eggs in this basket. Expand, you know, create multiple lanes of revenue for yourself. Start a blogging channel. I think it's so dope to see what Math has done. I think it's so dope to see Averb getting into the mix now, getting off of Spaces and getting onto YouTube and making money. I literally watch Averb on his channel say, I'm working right now. That is so dope. I've been begging Bigg K to do that forever. Rosenberg Roy told me about 2 years ago he was starting to fucking joint. I'm waiting for that. I want to see people continue to not have to rely on a platform or a league owner to call them for a check. Because if your main source of income is battle rap, I have a lot of knowledge in this game, and I will say you're not in a great position. You're not in a great spot if you're depending on battle rap to sustain yourself. Um, can you supplement what you're doing with battle rap and do great for yourself? Absolutely. There's a bunch of people that are. But to fully depend on battle rap being number one, it doesn't benefit me to say this. So even shit like this is me doing that a little bit, of speaking on how I think people could help themselves, be a little bit more successful. But to each his own, to each his own. We talked about the power of proximity on this channel. Some people want a lot. Some people are complacent. Some people don't want shit. You know, so it depends on the eyes and ears that's taking in the content or taking in the advice. You know, who am I? To some people, I'm a mentor. To other people, I'm just talking. You know, so to each his own. I'm gonna fuck this gym up after. I'm starting to feel real good. 200 milligrams of caffeine. Maybe that's why. I'm not a coffee drinker either. So yeah, this shit is starting to hit. I'm gonna fuck this gym up. um, what else do I want to say about Divide and Conquer before I get into the title? I see people still coming in. That's dope. So we rocking. I ain't in a rush. We chilling. We chilling. Yeah, the Blue Room on May 6th. Did y'all see Bigg K's little early shot at Murda Mook? He put up a clip of Murda Mook trying to recruit Bigg K to Dot Mob. What if Bigg K uses that as an angle? Is that a worthy angle? I've seen that. I've seen that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's going to be real interesting if that plays out. Murda Mook and Bigg K, I continue to see how much credit they're being given as rappers. People say K is one of the best rappers. He has one of the best deliveries. That sometimes could be enough of a weapon to win a battle versus anybody. Murda Mook, one of the best rappers, anglers, one of the more complex people at times, if he chooses to be, of all time. This is gonna be stupid. I'll talk about that briefly too. That Ill Will and King Los. I think it's so dope. It's like even they didn't think about each other. That's me right there. Like fuck it, I'm taking my credit because I think that might be a classic. I'm claiming that early. You know what I'm saying? Called King Los. Yo, Ill Will. All right. Say that name to Ill Will. Oh, you know what? Yeah, yeah, okay. And if you think about it, Ill Will has he has that trend on his RBE resume, the return from the industry guys. You know what I'm saying? Battle 40 Cal, Battle Jag. Now he's gonna have King Los. Right? I think that's kind of dope for Ill Will. King Los though, um, I think this is dope to see him in this type of spot with a battle coming up where he doesn't have the type of question marks. Because when we brought him the first time, you know what I'm saying, there was no footage of him like that or anything. That's the question mark, and that's RBE taking the risk, right? And then he delivers what some people say is a debatable battle. Some people give him the win versus one of the greatest of all time, Daylight, in a big room on a max out card. That shuts a lot of people up. Then he goes to URL a couple months later and has a classic battle, in my opinion, a classic battle versus one of our GOATs, DNA, in a small room. I got King Los winning that one. I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to my nigga DNA. I did have King Los taking that. Maybe I'll watch it again. I don't know. I think it was close, but I did have Los taking that. And that's a classic battle. So this guy, and obviously we know the Head Ice battle, and he had that opponent on like a week and a half prep. Shout out to Ice too. Shout out to Ice. Spoke to Ice the other day. Shout out to Head Ice. Okay. But I think King Los has shown how dangerous he could be if he's arguably beating some of our best ever. And I saw Ill Will on 3 Letterman. Shout out to 3 Letterman. I saw him rocking with 3 Letterman. Ill Will said something very, very smart. He said, we all got, struggle to prep for it. You have to treat. I can't get in there and then they say King Los is the one to get me out of here. He's prepping for King Los the same way he would prep for a hollow. Smart, Will. The great ones do that. The great ones never play down, and you can't even play down to King Los because we just talked about his accomplishments and his showings. So technically, you're not playing down, but some fans might think that because you've only seen King Los 3 times, right? So mentally, some people fuck themselves up like that. Get into the ring, give themselves an L by playing down because of public perception instead of paying attention to how dangerous the artistry of this person is in front of you. I'm telling you, man, y'all lucky out on battle rap. I'm telling you. 3 more announcements on the way. One of them is 2 more ladies in a matchup. Bricks all over the remaining matchups as well. One of them is an on-site battle. Um, Glad y'all getting y'all money's worth. Glad this is gonna be such a dope stream and such a dope live experience for so many people. May 6th, go to rarebreedent.com right now and get your live pay-per-view. It's gonna be crazy. Okay, we are 35 minutes in. Told you I'm not rushing. And all I did was chop with y'all so far and talk about RBE business because that's priority, and the bricks and everybody that's on the card and all that. That's priority. That's most important. Now let's get to this topic. Eazy the Block Captain. You remain among the headlines and one of the biggest topics of the year will remain this. When people do their their Uncle Murder recaps at the end of the year, people's gonna talk about hopefully Divide and Conquer 1, Divide and Conquer 2, Chrome 23's event, Hitman versus Eazy, Eazy the Block Captain going independent, or and there's gonna be a bunch of stuff too that comes. Of course, the King of the Dot event, the tribute to Pat Stay Forever. There's gonna be a bunch of things that's on this year that I think that are gonna stand out, and you know, whether it's controversial or whether it was newsworthy, because who are we kidding? Um, the controversy and the disagreements are just as important viewership wise as all the other shit. And a lot of us still um we still entertain it. You know, things disagreements come up and you got to get in front of fan base. We speak on things. Bloggers, of course, will continue to make sure that they address things that are relevant as well. Media will cover it. They'll ask those questions when they have the cameras in front of certain people. League owners will address things. Battlers will weigh in. All types of shit. You know, so although the focus is supposed to be battle rap, we're an industry. We're an industry. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than the hip hop industry, even though we are hip hop. It's no different than the pop industry. You know what I'm saying? Y'all care about Rihanna getting pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Y'all care about what's happening with Tax Tone and Troy Ave. You know, we care about all of that stuff. So let's never lie to ourselves. Let's never front to ourselves. I think it's dope for us to say, let's get back to battle rap. I am definitely in full agreement of that. You'd be surprised what I'm open to, despite the 10 toes that I stand on as far as some of the things that I'm opposite from in this culture, right? But you'd be surprised what I'd have my ears open to. But at the same time, I'm never going to let people deter me from speaking out. That's part of RBE's legacy. You can't deter me from that. You never will. That's going to be a part of our fabric. That this company delivered great battles, great content. A lot of money was generated and moved around. We've elevated the culture in many different areas. We brought a lot of innovation. We brought a lot of classics. Our resume and our catalog on the channel speaks for itself. But at the same time, they were so outspoken that they were involved in making sure that they addressed a lot of things that either directly or indirectly affected them. And I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? That will continue to be us. So that has always been since day one RBE. So why would that change? But the business of battle rap affects us all. So when we talk about this continued Eazy the Block Captain news and topic, and I think more of this discussion came about recently because of his interview with Queen's Flip. I watched that as well, right? I hear statements about RBE's company was mentioned in that interview, you know, and that's fine, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And even as far as some of the legalities, right? RBE's company is involved indirectly or directly. You hear us mentioned in that, right? And you can get that straight from the horse's mouth as far as where we stand and how we feel. You know, I've always been transparent with our fan base and the battle rap culture. So, you know, I have no problem talking about some of that stuff. So let's get into contracts real quick. I've spoken about contracts many times on this channel. I want to use this moment here to give a little bit more advice to the battlers, and even to league owners, right? Because we all kind of want to make sure that we keep our business as tight as possible. Here's a very big misconception about battle rap. Harsh reality for a second. Sorry is true statement for a second. The word career is very, very misused in an industry like ours, unfortunately. The word professional is very, very misused in an industry like ours, unfortunately. Let me go to the professional one. Why do I say that? I said this on the phone the other day to somebody. It's so tough to remain professional in an unprofessional environment. That goes for me as well. I think when I came in, I had this reputation of being this business guy, this business owner. The way he speaks, the way he conducts himself, the way he moves, his reputation with the battlers, the way his business goes, all that type of stuff. That's my reputation. So when people see me get my hands dirty, or they see me in controversy, or they see me arguing, whatever, some people get baffled and they'll be like, "Yo, ARP is this Harvard grad, and he's so professional, and his business is so good, and his reputation is sturdy, and he's a man of integrity and morals and principles. Why is he involved in controversy?" It's like, do you understand what this demographic is? It's all controversial, right? The professionalism within our industry is very, very low. It's something I complained about early on a lot. It's like something that shocked me as a businessman. It's something that shocked me. My very first event, for Avert to tap me on the shoulder and say, our very first event, like, "Yo, there's not a lot of people in here. Am I still getting paid?" And I'm just like, why would somebody ask me that question when I signed the contract saying this is the amount of money that I'm going to owe you after you rap, right? That's not Ver's fault. That's not my fault. That's just the mentality that's in here. You know what I'm saying? So you actually do have to get on a level of certain shit to even survive in battle rap, right? People forget I've been in fights in battle rap. I've been in arguments in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? I've lost money. I've made money in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in a certain neighborhood, being on a certain block, being in a certain clique. You know what I'm saying? Being around a certain amount of people. If you don't ever get on that level, you don't belong. You know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing of being in the sea of sharks, right? There's sharks in there, and people will smell the blood, right? You either become one of the sharks or you become one of the bait. There's elements of me where I have to become a shark, which leads to this times where anybody is going to have moments of being unprofessional. I've seen league owners that threaten to beat up people. I've seen situations where league owners call people out their names, call people coons, call people bitches, call people that. I've had moments where I've gone back and forth with people. It's impossible to stay professional in a very, very unprofessional environment. That's just a harsh, sorry, it's true reality. You have to get on a certain level, you know what I'm saying, if you're going to survive in certain areas, and it's shitty that you may feel forced into that position at times. But we all accept this because this is battle rap. Yeah, I mean, and the more that we professionalize this culture, and we're about to get into contracts, obviously, the higher up that we go, right? So let's get back into the contract talk. The thing about contracts in battle rap, contracts in battle rap serve more of a reminder than anything. They serve more of a understanding than anything, right? You go into certain industries bigger than battle rap. Certain artists don't even read their own contracts. Sometimes they have authority figures for them. It goes straight to a manager, it goes straight from there to a lawyer. It gets reviewed, it gets signed off. Like, you don't have to do your own taxes. Like, you could submit your taxes, and in the spot there that says, did somebody else prep your taxes for you or whatever? You may never read that 50 pages of your own contract, but it's going to be official coming from an accountant going to the IRS. You know what I'm saying? We don't perform like that. This isn't what, speaking of Eazy, we don't have our shit tightened up like that at all. It's a very, very loose arena, right? We all agree that probably less than 85% of battlers actually read their contracts before they sign them. It's a lot of trust and homie business going on, right? Which is never good for an industry of professionalism, right? So you take this contract and some of the things we've been saying about Eazy The Block. And when I watch that Queens Flip interview, and when I watch some of the things that's been coming out, and I watch some of the bloggers, and I watch some of Eazy stuff, it makes me ask certain questions when I know what I know about some of these contracts that we all are involved in. And I think the debate of, who's right and who's wrong, I think a question that doesn't get asked enough is something wrong from the onset? I think we focus, so it's very easy to focus on the outcome. Once things go left, or once things go so public, or once there's a big topic and a lot going on, it's real easy to focus on that. Like, that's not really my that's not I kind of think a lot past that at times. And I challenge people to do this. Sometimes you got to think about the beginning, right? Sometimes you got to think about the beginning. So, like, let's say the tax tone and Troy Ave shit. In a court of law, why is Troy Ave getting off? Right? We saw the video of him letting it off and all that type of shit in New York, right? But the circumstances that leads up to some of that shit is the reason why he got off. Right or wrong, right? That's some of the involvement of going to the beginning of some of this stuff. Now, if you understand where I'm going with this, what I'm kind of edging towards is, are some of these contracts valid to begin with? Let me be fair. Let me use myself. Our contracts have evolved over the years. There was things in our contracts in the past that would never hold up in whatever law, whatever state's laws that, let's say, our contracts are executed within. Your company gets like registered. Like, let's say if you have an LLC or a corporation or whatever, if you have foreign entities, for example, like, our contracts can be entered into court, like, let's say, for example, in New York, or like, let's say, Georgia. Let's assume, like, let's say, We Go Hard or Trap House or URL would enter their contracts into state law within New York. They'd be under New York law. And those would be the courts that they'd be submitting any type of filings into, right? Let's say King of the Dot probably obviously would submit their stuff in Toronto. Their companies are legally represented and listed, from even a government level within Toronto, so forth and so on. I keep going. Guerrilla warfare, it could be Chicago, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or Illinois, right? So the point that I'm making there is, of course, state to state law changes, but we literally have had things evolve in our contracts over the years. And there's been things in our contracts that, for lack of better words, to be honest, were illegal or could never uphold in a court, right? So I say that to say, let me use an example. If I say, if a battler, if Rosenberg Raw battles on UW, and I don't like that particular matchup, I don't like the timing of it, I don't like that opponent, I can charge him $15,000, right? I can say, now because you did that battle, you owe me $15,000. That may not be legal, depending on the classification of Rosenberg Raw, on that given state that the contract was entered into. I'll give you some now, a little bit more details on where I'm going with that. Employee versus private contractor is very, very important. Very, very important. You need to understand the difference of being an employee, like I say, a New York-based employee, or a New York-based private contractor. Okay? When you look at a battle rapper, what do you think that they are? Do you think they're employees and employed by a company? Or do you think that they're private contractors? And private contractors can still be hired for a set duration of time. Let me hire, this contractor from fucking March to August to build a pool in my backyard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you still have a duration, 7 months or whatever. And I'm requesting you to allocate, Monday through Thursday to building my pool. I don't give a fuck what you do with your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but this is our agreement, because by the time I get to August, I want my pool done. You know what I'm saying? So that's totally within people's agreements, right? But I want to read some shit. That I came across recently. All right. And I know this light isn't gonna let people see it again. The words, damn, it's not gonna let people read it again. Anyway, I'm just showing you that I'm actually gonna read something. All right, this is from one of Chris Unbiased's blogs. This probably was the blog that he either did after the Queen's Flip interview, or responding to the 3 battle deal from RBE to Eazy the Block Captain. Whether that's signed and sealed, whether it's being negotiated, or whether it was a troll. You guys decide, whatever it is. But there's a comment on one of those videos from Unpopular Popular Opinion, that YouTube channel. And I'm going to read this for you. He says, I agree with you on the contract part, but what people aren't understanding is if they want independent contractors to respect an illegal contract that restricts where an independent contractor can work, then they have to at least consider him an employee. Consider these battlers employees, or fuck that contract. Federal law, you cannot tell an independent contractor where and when they can do business, as long as they complete business with you. Not even a contract can change that. Contracts that limit where an independent contractor can work are illegal, thus null and void. So no, I don't respect the contract either. Now, for me to be fair, this person has a bunch of replies in Chris's blog. He's saying that he has X amount of hours within that practice. So he's speaking as if somebody that either studied this, or is in the practice, or is a lawyer. Is he right? Is he wrong? I don't know. This is all disclaimer when I talk about legalities, because I'm not a lawyer, right? I'm not a lawyer. But one of the things that's important here is for people to do the homework. Do the homework. So I read a comment like that. And what I did then is I said, let me look up some of this stuff myself, right? You could just use Google. Of course, when you really, really need to put this into practice or sign something or get involved with something, you should hire a lawyer, right? But I'll go to another one right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. This is New York State Attorney General non-compete agreements in New York State. So I was curious enough, and I said, let me just use a particular state now. Let me use New York-based contracts, right, or companies. So I pulled this up. All right. And anybody could pull this up. Just go Google this type of stuff, or you could call a lawyer. And I'm going to read some of this. Non-compete agreements in New York State. What is a non-compete agreement? A non-competition agreement, non-compete, prohibits an employee, keyword employee, from working for a competitor or opening a competing business, typically for a certain period of time after an employee leaves a job. A non-compete may be one section of an employment contract or a standalone contract that an employee signs before or after employment begins. So the employee part was very, very important there. I thought that, because I'm learning a lot of this shit as well. Trust me. I want my fucking contracts to uphold too if I have an issue, right? Like, let's be real. Are non-competes legal? Did I read something in here? A non-compete. Okay, yeah, let me read this part. A non-compete is only allowed and enforceable to the extent it, one, is necessary to protect employees' legitimate interests. We do see that in battle rap, so that's fair. Let's be fair. Let's be real. Two, does not impose an undue hardship on the employee, keyword employee. But even if that was a contractor, it says does not impose an undue hardship. That's key. Three, does not harm the public. And four, is reasonable in time period and geographic scope. Reasonable in time period. So if I give a battler a contract that says, you're providing a service that is always jump to jump. It's not like you're in the backyard building a pool around the clock, and I'm even bringing you. I'm letting you hold down the guest room in the crib. Like, stay with me, y'all. Hold down the guest room, so you're living on premises. You know what I'm saying? It's from sun up to sundown. You wake up, you work on this project. You go to sleep. You wake up, you work on this project. Battlers are in their own lives, doing whatever they're doing YouTube series, promoting, going over here, blogging, whatever, working regular jobs when they're not battle rapping, right? Whether they're classified as an employee or a contractor, right? So as far as that last part, think about that. Think about that. Even if you were having it wasn't like a 24/7 or 5-day a week typical work hours type of range or job or contractor position, right? Even if it wasn't, the time range of that is extremely limited. It may not be even legal for me, and I have some contracts that are 2 years. I don't know if that's valid under certain type of requests or restrictions. Can I have you abide by certain policies within my contract over this two years that a new brick is signed to? I believe so. And hint, of course, I spoke to people about this shit. I believe so, right? But as far as, like, let's say, restricting where a contractor can work unless I designate you as an employee, right? If I'm doing that for, like, let's say 2 years, like in some of my contracts, and I say you can't go over to Chrome, and that's for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, that's a problem. That's a problem. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm just doing what I feel like a lot of battlers are not doing. Just do your research or call a lawyer. All right, let's take a look at another one real quick. I pulled this up as well. This one is from, okay, New York State Attorney's Law Office again. And is a non-compete provision enforceable? See that? Is a non-compete agreement enforceable? This light is killing it, but I think I saw the words or whatever. Once again, y'all can all pull this up yourself or call a lawyer. All right. For a non-compete agreement to be enforceable in New York, it must, 1, be necessary to protect the employer's legitimate business interests. It's fair. 2, be reasonable in terms of scope, the duration and time period. We just spoke on that. Not cause undue hardship for the worker/contractor. We just made that point very clear. And 4, not violate public policy. So we kind of got into some of that on the last article, and we just gave examples about it. Given that an independent contractor needs to work with various companies to earn a living, an overly broad non-compete provision preventing you from working with any competitor may pose an undue hardship. If a non-compete agreement unreasonably restrains your ability to work, it may not be enforceable. Depending on the circumstances, a non-compete agreement may also reclassify an independent contractor as an employee because the employer would be exercising financial control over the contractor. In this situation, the company may be subject to fines, and the contractor may have the right to take legal action to obtain unpaid overtime. That was this article. Okay. This is the English language that I'm reading here under New York state law websites. I think a lot of us, including me, haven't done a lot of that right there, let alone call a lawyer. That right there makes me feel a way about my own contracts and some of the things that could be in my contracts and some of the agreements I might have with battlers and some of the understandings that I want to have with battlers for me and Rare Breed Entertainment. Just so happens that over the years, we've really continued to say we don't want to stop people from getting money. Everybody in our contracts is classified as a private contractor, because if you're not classified as a private contractor, the amount of stuff that you have to do as an employer for an employee is totally different. And legally, to have that over my head would be a whole different ball game. So I don't go down that lane. For the people that have read RBE contracts, you're not an employee. You're definitely not an employee. You're a private contractor. So the undue restraint that it could be put on a private contractor or an employee based on duration and time range or their ability to generate monies that we read in these articles, I double back to the title of this and I say, once again, it's very easy for us to focus on the aftermath. It's like human nature. Oh, we see all it, and let's talk about it from the end of when, we seen all of this going forward. Nobody goes back to the start line and says, was this race supposed to be happening in the first place? Was this race even supposed to be going down? Let alone we got to this finish line and all this shit started happening and we started arguing and talking and this became a big topic. Was we even supposed to have the race? You know what I'm saying? New York City Marathon. I know people literally that join the marathon like after the start line because they're not registered to be in the race, right? But if they get to the end and they win, right, they can't win the money because they were never even registered in the first place correctly through like the sanction, whatever. I know people that run the New York City Marathon every year. You know what I'm saying? So was you even supposed to start the race? Was you correctly registered? All these examples, I feel like just we simplify this a little bit more and we share information like this when we have big topics like this in the culture. And I have no problem for Eazy or other bloggers or other media or other battlers to call lawyers or to look up things on the internet and we could debate back and forth, because I feel like in the best case scenario, what happens with conversations like this is we learn more. We get more professional. We do better business. We avoid fallouts or misunderstandings or disagreements. That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is business gets hurt, things get lost that the fans are invested in. You know what I'm saying? If I do a card and I have a contract with said battle rapper, and then there's some type of misalignment in the agreement that prevents it now from happening, we all lose. Let's be real. Let's be fair here. You know what I'm saying? I know people's going to feel like, oh, this is not in other people's best interest for ARP to be talking about this. But if you do your homework, when have I not been talking about this? It just becomes that much more relevant. Because I do feel like there's a lot of things that I've said that maybe were a little bit premature. You know what I'm saying? We focus on the entertainment so much, and some of this stuff is really just entertainment for people. Like, oh, it's just controversy, let's jump in, jump out. But some of us really are affected in our personal lives behind some of the shit that happens in these industries where we spend money and we work. Some of us are really, really affected. For other people, it's entertainment, but some of us are really, really affected. So I think the continued knowledge and learning that we all do, the understanding of battlers of what their classification is. Are you an employee? Are you a contractor? What state is what state law is your contract sanctioned under? Are certain restrictions or even things that you're being, are they legal? You know what I'm saying? Are you correct from a tax standpoint? Can you be put legally in a long-term non-compete clause? For we read that. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things matter. You know, I've literally lost battles because of things that people battlers felt, you know, were incorrect, whether it was on this side, that side, or whatever, right? Or maybe people were convinced that something was wrong or something was right somewhere else. We're seeing that stated for Eazy. When Eazy says, my lawyer, you know, about, you know what I mean? Like people ask that question. I seen Flip ask that question. I seen Chris ask that question. I see Piper Boy ask that question. I think it's a valid question. I think it's a smart question. Like, okay, your lawyer said this, but what's the judge's position? I respect that. I respect that. I think that's fair. I think that's smart. But what we're doing is we're also not even going to the start line. Is the point that I'm making here in this video. Was the race valid to even begin with? And then maybe that's why Eazy feels that confident taking that position. And at the end of the day, you're seeking legal counsel. If my fucking lawyer gives me bad advice, I'm suing my lawyer. I'm getting a different lawyer and I'm suing that lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So if you do the proper thing, everybody, people pick when to say business is business or when to say homies is homies. People pick and choose. And I get it. It's not easy to navigate this shit because some of us become friends. I'm being real and I'm being fair. Some of us become friends. Some of us become real, real cool. And then you get the homie business. That really, really happens. But no matter how close we are, no matter how tight me and Ill Will or Bigg K or Rosenberg, no matter how tight we are, I can't use Showoff in the example because he never signed anything. But no matter how tight I am with some of these people, once we agree on a battle and a deposit and a location and an opponent and blah, blah, and this and that, I still send them a contract and they still read it. They still read it. Some of them send it to their peoples and go over it. And then they sign it and they still send it back. Right? Whether we cool or not, we're still trying to exercise business. So if we're trying to exercise business and we want this culture to grow, let's understand what type of business that we're doing. Are we doing good business, bad business, valid business, illegal business? I think all of this matters. And I think situations like this and topics like this being so big, let's continue to try to evaluate and we all learn from it. Even certain things in my contract might change as a result. You think I just pay attention because, oh yeah, it's their problem. I want to learn some of this shit too. I do. Because if I ever end up with an accusation or a claim or a problem or argument or a disagreement with a battler or another company or anything like that, I want to learn some of this shit too. What smart person that's doing business and signing contracts wouldn't want to learn some of this shit unless you just want to, time for me to get $100 deposit, sign, send it back. So let's not be upset when people want to call lawyers or when people want to do homework and when people want to learn and elevate their business. That's the wrong time to actually look at somebody sideways. That's the time to say, hey, whether you're right or wrong, go do your due diligence then. Go learn, right? Or else we're just in here faking. That's all we're doing. We're just faking. We're just signing it just to sign it. And then we're just calling it a career just because it sounds good. I don't want to be one of those people. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. Hour in, and this wasn't even a full podcast with 20 different topics. Go back and listen to those pieces that I read. I feel like they're very important. Dissect them. If you have any legal backgrounds, or if you go do your own homework as a fan of battle rap or whatever, drop a comment below. Let me know some of the stuff that y'all learn. Let me know some of the stuff below that y'all read, or some of the shit that y'all know from attorneys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Somebody go call J Pro. He's a lawyer, right? He's in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? So, and anybody that wants to have a contract read or has, even if you sign the RBE contract, I don't care. You could always DM me, or if you have my number, text me or call me. I have 3 different lawyers or lawyer companies that I can refer you to. 3 different, and they all different price ranges too. Like I have people that'll work with you. I have people that is just like, nah, don't call them unless you're really spending some money. You got a big problem and you really need great, you know what I'm saying? And I got people that, kind of in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So, and these contracts to get reviewed and even ask certain questions, it only costs a couple $100. Everybody thinks it's thousands of dollars. Nah, it costs a couple $100, even from big lawyers. You know what I'm saying? To maybe review what you're getting into. So, respect everybody. I appreciate y'all. Fun topics, man. But I ain't gonna stray away from them because it's all gonna make us brick by brick, hopefully. You dig? May 6th, it's going down. Blue Room shit. More announcements on the way. Go to the channel. It's time to start talking to the artists now. You're gonna start seeing me going live with all the battlers all May. Not all May, all April. We're gonna be here really rocking out. So stay tuned, y'all. Appreciate y'all. It's your boy as always. RBE shit.